Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Ceres. Transiting Ceres is in trine to natal Uranus. How transiting Ceres will behave in a trine with natal Uranus depends on the position of natal Uranus. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Uranus. But the basics are as follows. When transiting Ceres trines natal Uranus, it marks a period of harmonious energy where nurturing and change are aligned in a positive way. Trigone opens a window to the gentle rooms of life, care becomes experimental and not fixed, because routines breathe, and service learns to give space. This transit calls for trust in the body's intelligence and the courage to allow belonging to unfold, life receiving a refreshing drop of cosmic fertilizer, as Ceres, the nurturing archetype, meets Uranus, the restless innovator, in a harmonious embrace. Suddenly, routines that once bored you can sprout new leaves, and your emotional landscape becomes fertile ground for growth. Individuals will notice how they nurture their quirky side or feed their need for freedom in ways that don't destroy your world, but gently encourage it to flourish. Transiting Ceres trine your natal Uranus brings a natural ease of experimenting with how you care, for yourself, for others, and for what matters. The trine is not a push, but rather a permission, because while Ceres nurtures, secures, creates rhythm and reliability, Uranus disrupts the routine, insists on autonomy, rejects the expected. Although Ceres and Uranus work well together in this transit, rather than clashing as usual, you'll notice that you're suddenly willing to let go of a caregiving pattern that no longer serves you or try an unconventional approach to eating. Whether it's a new way of relating to your body, a different structure for your time with the people you love, or permission to step back from obligations that have become a habit. It is that moment when care remembers that it can breathe without breaking down. That it can act as a silent permission, releasing the usual ways of nurturing, feeding, and belonging so that something more original and alive can come through. Because Ceres often revisits the point in return waves rather than a single clean pass, this contact has a cumulative quality, each arrival leaving another layer of ease between instinct and invention. What it tends to leave behind is a recalibrated sense of what nutrition actually entails, less scaffolding, more confidence, and a lighter hand in how you hold the things you cherish. So offer more space, not less, and watch the service within that space deepen. When nutrition includes freedom, generosity is restored, not that you have to grip so hard to keep life connected and alive. As we have already stated, transiting Ceres in trine to natal Uranus brings opportunities for personal growth, innovation, and the ability to adapt to new circumstances with ease. Caring, mothering, and the ability to care for others is often associated with the way we express care for ourselves, plants and pets. The conjunction with Uranus through a trine symbolizes change through innovation and unpredictability. Ultimately we get a harmonious relationship, allowing a balance between care and innovation. We have a sense of liberation, but not the dramatic rebel without a cause kind, but instead we are drawn to unconventional solutions, especially in the areas of self-care, pets, work colleagues, and our habits. Emotional breakthroughs come quietly, like a gentle breeze through an open window, encouraging us to honor our uniqueness and support others in doing so. Suddenly, Grandma's recipe will inspire an avant-garde culinary creation, or your everyday walk will turn into a spontaneous adventure. The ease here is real, but it will also mask the right choice. Because if you say yes to spontaneity, because now it seems natural, but not because you've tested it to work, that doesn't mean it's the right choice. The danger of the trine is taking the opening for granted, treating freedom as permanent when it is temporary, or experimenting without noticing what you lose when you leave the old structure. Uranus will do anything at this time to appear liberating. Therefore, we can say that the most useful expression of this transit is conscious experimentation, not just reactive novelty. Working with this energy means allowing care to develop without abandoning its habits. Keep what's reliable as you update the pattern, micro-experiments in your day, gentler boundaries, a willingness to let colleagues need different things. Space becomes a nutrient. The more you respect autonomy, yours and theirs, the more vitality is returned to the connection. Sustainable care occurs when it is designed like a living ecosystem, adaptive, sensitive and generous without losing itself. Body rhythms require updating, different foods, new movements or unconventional treatment. All this will have a natural and energizing effect. You will easily be overwhelmed by the excitement of new ideas, but Ceres will remind you to ground your visions in reality. This transit offers a rare opportunity to be both nurturing and innovative, so don't let the spark skip you for lack of follow-up. And if your plants start singing to you, remember, Uranus is known for some eccentric side effects. Small, sustainable changes work best, but not planning based on cycles, but planned meals or a practice that restores without rigidity. Let this be a season of gentle trial and error. If you can treat care as a living conversation, listening, adjusting, listening again, you will see that constancy is not the same as sameness.